My name is Kathy Hinshaw, and I'm from Peru, South America. I came here to the United States in 1996, so I was part of the Latino booming in North Carolina. And I have been calling Greensboro my second home for the past 23 years. So half of my life I'm here. When I came here with my American husband, I went to school to better my English and also to get my education in international business. I was eager to fit in this society. I was eager to be accepted for this American culture. And so I decided that I will separate from my own culture and from my language. And so I was very determined in learning English and being part of this community. I thought that I have it all, that I have all that I wanted. I thought that I was employed, I was happily married, I got my education. I thought I was immersed in the community. But suddenly, an unfortunate accident happened involving my husband. And so that really shattered my dreams and eventually led to my divorce. After my divorce, I was kind of lost because it was my husband and his family and his friends. It was the only thing that I know. I came here, my whole family, my entire culture is back there. And so I started this process of self-discovery and trying to find who I was, who I am, and become more aware of my own strengths and become aware and reflecting about back then when I was a child, I didn't really realize anything, but when I was doing this self-discovery, I reflect in how much influence my grandmother and my mother have on me. Because I saw that my grandmother lost my grandfather, and so I'm coming from a culture that machismo was very prevalent in the patriarchal society. But we were expected for my grandma to get married again, because who will take care of the farm? Who will take care of her children, my uncles and aunts? But she said, I will not do it. I only married one time, and that's it. And I will take charge of the farm, where I will work with the community workers that will help us in the farm. And so I saw that leadership in her. With my mom too, overcoming different obstacles throughout her life, and the resilience of these women. So I reflect and say, oh, I didn't grow up in a patriarchal society, I grew up in a matriarchal society. I also reflected that my family, very much by their actions of working with the community over there, I always saw my grandmother and my uncles and my own parents always helping to the community. We call it campesinos, which is people from the mountains who are poor. And so always helping, reaching out and trying to build relationships. And so that was also another influence that helped me to become who I am now. And to help me to embrace my culture and to encourage my immigrant fellows and refugee fellows to embrace their culture. It's okay to adapt to this community, but also have your own culture and be proud of that. So at that time, there was a moment of awakening, and I realized that what I brought to the table from my Peruvian heritage, it needed to be valued. And so through that journey, at that time when all of this happened, this tragedy happened, and so suddenly I felt alone and I didn't know anybody of my own culture. And so after the divorce, I mean, the family of my husband got divorced from me, and the friends got divorced from me. So the sense of my community was gone. And at that time, I was working at the Women's Resource Center with 4 wonderful founders that I call them my angels of the sky, that they helped me through this process and that self-discovering and to build this community. And so I decided that I will share my journey with immigrant women and helping them to have their own self-discovering experience so they could grow and become self-sufficient. So I did it for 2 years at the Women's Resource Center with immigrant women. And at that time, also there was this Latino booming, and there were other agencies, the health and services providers, that they were panicking because they didn't know what to do with these Latinos. Oh, they're coming here. The aliens are coming here. And so there was this effort of different agencies to create the Multicultural Advisory Council or Committee to talk about like how can we learn from the Latino community, and how can we coordinate and collaborate and try to work so we better serve this community. So I went to these meetings representing the Women's Resource Center, and then met Riley Bailey, who is the founder of the UNCG Center for New North Carolinians. And so we started working together, and then start organizing the community. And then after that, in 2002, he asked me if I can join the Center for New North Carolinians team, which they provide an opportunity to me to continue and expand the work that I do with immigrants and refugees. And so throughout this journey, I learned that my passion is this type of work: community organizing, working with the community, building relationships so we can develop more inclusive and diverse communities, expanding kinship. Is it? Oh, sorry. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I continue doing this, and this is my passion, and it's still my passion. My action to call is to become more aware about immigrants and refugees in our community. Believe me, we are a very diverse community. Greensboro is very unique with that. We have several languages that is being spoken in the school system. And also become aware, especially now, about the immigrant and refugee issues that are happening. We are being under attack by our administration. And so these are moments that we are very afraid now as immigrants and refugees living in the United States.